I always say it's crucial to look around with a flashlight. This is really, really important to look and see where the speakers live. Now, why is this important? It's important because where you mic a cabinet determines what kind of tone you get. And we'll talk about the guitar stuff afterwards because there's a long list of things you have to deal with before you even start to try to get a guitar sound. This microphone here is an MZ203. Hard to find. Came around in the early 80s. It was part of Yamaha's line. It was designed to be a vocal mic. But this is like crucial to the tones that I look for. Now, I always tend to go straight on because the mics I use typically are dynamics when it comes to guitar tone. These old Yamahas are a secret weapon. I know this cabinet because it's mine, but if it was a cabinet I didn't know, I would do this differently. I literally would make the assistant engineer come out here and take a 57 and move it around until I found the speaker I liked a quality of. I know this cabinet because it's mine, so I kind of know what I'm looking for out of this particular cabinet and what I can get out of each speaker. I know where its strengths and weaknesses are. So I'm going to be looking for top end, and I'm going to go for this to be just off axis, and of course I just moved the cabinet, of the dust cover. So if the dust cover is there, I'm just a little bit outside of that. And I'm going to go straight on because I'm curious about the proximity I might get from the air moving. Right? All these microphones have proximity effect. That means that there's going to be a bass boost as the air gets on the capsule. Right? So a lot of times you'll see this kind of thing. Where somebody puts a mic on it and they'll angle it because they're going to try to minimize the air going across the capsule. So they'll go like this instead of like this. They'll go on a 45. And that's sort of to minimize the air going across the capsule, and it'll make it have less bottom end. But also remember that when you do that, it's actually pointing towards the edge of the speaker. And I can tell you just by moving the microphone from here to here to here to here will change more than any knob on any console or any outboard gear. Will never ever make a difference as much as that microphone moving just that little bit. This is a 409. You don't find these. This is an original 409. Sennheiser's come out with the
906.
Well, 906 is the newest one, the evolution. They came out with a 609 for a while, and that was supposed to be a copy of this microphone. Not so much.
No.
The 906, though, really, really good microphone. Now I'm going to be going to the bottom. These are large diaphragm. They're going to have a little bit more bottom. These are original 421s. And always be careful of these 421s because of this clip. Is easy. It's easy when you're holding it to hit that clip and this falls down. But what I always do is I always seesaw it. The first thing I did is I wrapped the cable around that because these are suspect always. And I always urge that you put a loop on every microphone just so you're a little safer. Again, I'm looking for bottom end. I've got that one way up towards the edge, on the edge of the speaker, because I'm looking for the bottom end. It lives sort of at the slower moving part of the speaker. And at the dust cover, it's going to be brighter. It's always brighter up there, and it's always darker as you pull away to the edge. And of course, the bottom speaker is closer to the floor. Going to have better bottom end frequencies, lower frequency information there. The other trick is to take the cabinet off its wheels and put it right on the floor. Another thing to remember too is that normally I don't have the head on top of the cabinet. Usually when I'm doing guitars, the head is in the control room with me or on the floor. If the musician wants the head in the room with them, if they're going to be in the room with the instrument, because they're trying to get the feedback or they're trying to get it, the feel of the instrument, then I will I always take it off. Why do I take it off, Trace?
Vibration.
Yeah, because when the cabinet's vibrating, the tubes are vibrating, it changes the harmonic element of the tubes. It makes the thing sound different.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of guys you'll see in a live situation, if they're clued in to the problems, will have the head next to the cabinet, standing up and down. It doesn't look as cool. It's not as practical. But if you're really being like real crucial about tone, in a live situation, you know, you do what you got to do. But in the studio, you really never want the head on top of the cabinet ever. When the cabinet's on the floor at couples, a lot of times I just turn the cabinet sideways. Just another heads up, cool trick I used to do and still do, depending on the style of music. Bass cabs, I always laid them on their backs, especially for tone that, like, if it's really like da da da, you know, really aggressive, where you're looking for a real quick hit and a fast recovery. The speakers are laying on when the cabinet's on its back like that, the speakers will settle back to the magnet faster. So I always would just lay it on the floor and then mic it from the top. Yep. And you can always make a room that's small, like if you're in a small room, you could always make the room bigger by going to a corner of the room that has a higher ceiling, instead of being stuck in a little booth where you're trying to make a low end. Because remember, low end takes some time to develop.
That's trouble.
So, you know, low end takes time. Wavelengths are much longer. So I experimented with that for years, and I still, you know, go for that. Again, but it depends on the style of music. But if you're looking for super fast recovery, gravity is your friend. All right?
Cool.
So we're mic'd up, ready to go. Be ready to hear this. That's the Yamaha.
You gotta make sure you check phase. Really important. I flip the phase and hear it kill the signal. So we know that those are good. Phase again. Hear it shift. You check the phase between the two I like. The Yamaha's great. The Yamaha's totally great. And then I add a little bit of this and weight.
Can't argue with that. 409. Yamaha. So that's the move for me. I mean, that's usually a go-to for me. Those two microphones are two of my faves. 57, always a good thing to put up. I'm not really particularly care for that 57 on that cabinet right now. On that side, I'd probably move it if I was going to use it, but I really don't have a need for it. You know, just because you put them up doesn't mean you have to use them. It just means you put them up because you're curious. You try to make judgments based on your knowledge. The other thing to remember is that when he's playing lead stuff like this, it's a different kind of thing you go for as opposed to rhythm tone. Rhythm tone's a totally different approach. Same circumstance of microphones. Still have to worry about the placement, have to worry about, you know, being able to know where the speaker is in the cabinet. It's really important to do that.